Welcome to episode 76 of Squib Kick Radio. I'm your host, as always, Elias Powell, and I'm joined here by both Harry Burton and Riley Pollock. How are we doing today, boys?
Doing all right. Just, living life. Midweek recording, afternoon recording. It's all right. Got the rest of your day after we're done recording here, so not too bad.
Yeah, so much time after this, so much possibility. Just looking forward to this episode.
Well, that is good to hear. We've got a lot of stuff to get to this week. We've got a recap of Week 9 in the NFL, as well as a Week 10 preview, so what's coming up in the league. And then, of course, we're going to go through all of the news and injury reports mainly going on in the NFL. Not a lot of news, actually, but we'll cover what's been going on regardless. But we're going to start with our Week 9 recap. And we're going to start it off with the Buffalo-Seattle game. Seattle looked super bad as the Bills take that quite confidently, actually. Seattle didn't really put up much of a fight throughout the most of that game.
Yeah, it was a shootout, 44-34 for the Bills. Seattle's defense is like bottom 5.
Yeah.
They're bad. Like, they're the worst against the pass. They can't really stop the run. They got to figure it out, or it might cost them, because that offense is all world and keeps them in games every week.
It's crazy how good DK Metcalf is this year and how everyone took him for granted. I feel like he is one of the best, if not the best receiver playing this year.
Yeah, he is a monster, and Pete Carroll's found a way to utilize him in the offense, and he's really turning into that full receiver that most people counted him out for being. Like, they just thought he was an take the top off a defense kind of guy, but he's got the whole route tree on lock right now.
Yeah, I mean, he was just to take the top off the guy and had very poor route running coming into the league, but they've managed to work with him, and because of his big frame and his speed, he's been able to develop into a pretty darn good wide receiver one in Seattle.
And it looks like Russ just trusts him.
Yeah.
Like, Russ knows he can throw the ball, and he'll go get it.
Well, Lockett and DK were both top 5 fantasy receivers going into last week. So they've both had success. But, yeah, it's nice for Russ. They just need to figure it out on D.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Buffalo continues to tick along. Good rebound game for them. And they are still forced to be reckoned with. They have some off games. The offense kind of sputters here and there, but Buffalo's still really good.
Yeah, oh yeah, I love Buffalo. They're a fun team to watch, and I really like Josh Allen. Honestly, probably my AFC team.
Nice.
Yeah.
Part of the Mafia now, Rawls.
Yeah, I liked Tyrod there, and then when Allen came, it just continued.
Yeah, I agree. All right, KC, they just get past Carolina. That game was a lot closer than it should have been.
Yeah, Casey likes to kind of just not be good sometimes, but just do enough to win.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey.
They kind of just have those games where it's like,
yeah,
but we'll just kind of win.
Yeah, and Christian McCaffrey, of course, making his return from IR last week. He was quite productive, but a new look for Carolina. You can see they don't exclusively rely on Christian McCaffrey to run their offense.
Yeah, I think Teddy Two Gloves learned a lot from Breeze in that, kind of short dump off, find just the check down guy or the open man, don't spread the ball downfield too much kind of offense. And he's done really well with it, and he's got 2 pretty good receivers. I mean, and Samuel can make some plays out of the backfield too, or at the receiver position. He's been really good the past 2 or 3 weeks, and then you add Christian McCaffrey back in, and the offense, not big play, but they can move the ball really, really well.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a lot more than I expected to see out of Carolina this year, that's for sure.
Yeah, I honestly thought they were going to be there with like the Jets.
Yep, I agree. Harry, your Raiders, big win over the Chargers.
It's a tough win though. They really didn't want to they really didn't want to win. Oh,
it seemed like both teams were trying to give the game away.
Yeah, like it was a tough game in the end there, but Raiders got it. It's all that matters. On to the next.
Poor Chargers. Like, they are in every single game and to lose every single game.
I have no sympathy for them, though. They have a stud rookie quarterback. This is some good adversity early in his career. Clearly, he's good enough to handle it, but the future's bright for the Chargers' future.
Yeah, Herbert's, I think, 1-2 with Burrow for Rookie of the Year right now.
Yeah, 100%.
That Miami-Arizona game, boys.
The best game of the week for sure.
That was a hell of a football game.
That was a great game to watch. Kyler Murray is just exciting to watch. He's the best running quarterback in football this year, I think. Like Lamar doesn't have it compared to.
He's over 500 yards rushing now, I think.
It's craziness.
Yeah.
But Arizona still finds a way to lose to teams they should be absolutely crushing. And
I don't know. Miami's got a pretty good defense.
Miami's D is really good.
Miami does. Yeah. Their franchise looks hyped over Tua coming in. Like, clearly there's something going on in that locker room that's going right.
Yeah, like Tua didn't have to do anything in his first start, but then played really well yesterday. And like, I'm still pissed that Fitz isn't starting, but I do love Tua, always have. So glad that he's showing up with the opportunity that he was given.
100%.
Yeah, but still, I mean, this Cardinals team they're the number one offense in football right now, and they should not be. They have
some injuries on defense. Like, their defense obviously isn't great, or they're not awful, but they're not one of the top defenses in the league. And
yeah, I don't know.
I think tough to compare.
What we've seen from Miami is, like, I'm not surprised at the outcome, and I'm like, the 34-31 seems to be reasonable. Miami's just playing well. They're exceeding my expectations for them this year.
Yeah, they definitely are.
They're in a wild card spot, for God's sakes.
It's rare we have good things to say about Miami.
Well, I hate them. I think they're a poorly run organization, but that seems to be changing under Flores.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, and this is a big keep his job year.
Oh yeah, he's kept his. I think he already has. Like, unless they go, 0-8 to finish the season. Like,
yeah,
they're in a wild card spot. I think that's way, way further than they thought they would be along in this rebuild.
For sure. All right, Pittsburgh, 8-0.
Yeah, first time in franchise history for the Steelers that they're 8-0, which is crazy because they're such a storied franchise. Like, they've had some really good teams, some unreal defenses throughout the years, and again, I feel like their defense is leading them. They have a good offense for sure, but that defense probably the best in the league, I would say. Like, there's not that many elite defenses this year.
No.
I can think of them, Baltimore. I thought Tampa was elite. We'll get into that in a bit, but like, Pittsburgh's, in my opinion, the best D in the league. And Chicago's got a good one too, but their offense puts them on the field too long.
Yep. All right. What else we got here? New Orleans versus Tampa. This should have been a way better game, but Tampa just laid an egg.
I was so stoked for this game.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, 3 picks. First time since like 2011 or something that he's thrown 3 picks in a game.
Yep. And Mike Evans continues to slide.
Yeah, but he's, like, fantasy-wise, he's got such a good schedule through fantasy playoffs.
He does.
He's just getting locked up by teams' top corner, man. He can't do anything.
Yeah, but I just don't think that the teams he plays in week 15, 16, 17 have a top corner.
It's true.
But yeah, I mean, adding AB too is going to take a few touches away. AB clearly running the wrong route on one of Tom Brady's interceptions, but like, he's only practiced like 3 times with them.
Yeah, yeah, so that can't really.
Was just a terrible
blame
game
him
to
too
watch,
much.
Though. Overall,
it was so bad.
To watch.
Yeah, I had to work it, and like, I'm pretty sure I was watching Netflix by the third quarter.
Yeah,
while the game was on in the background.
Yeah, and I would say one of the highlights or takeaways, I should say, for Tampa Bay, I think, is AB. I mean, aside from missing that one route, which was really just ran incorrectly, not poorly, he played
he
like
ran the wrong
75.
route.
Yeah, he played 75% of snaps, and he still looked like he looked a little slow, but like just a little slow.
Like slow compared to what he is.
Yeah, what he used to. Yeah, exactly.
But still fast for sure.
Yeah, like I think you give him 3 weeks and business will be booming.
Yeah, you could tell that Tom wanted to get him the ball too. Like he definitely threw some that were a little tight because
AB
he was
also
trying
made
to
some
get
good
AB
catches
involved.
though.
Yeah, for sure. And he made a good defensive play too that could have ended up being a 4th interception, but he swatted the ball out of the defender's hands.
Yeah. I think it was just a tough day at the office for the Bucs.
I can't believe that offense didn't score a touchdown.
Yeah, they'll look to rebound. I want to see Fournette utilized more in the offense. I think he's underutilized right now.
100%.
Maybe they're trying to keep him healthy, for playoffs or something like that. But
They
I
ran
mean,
the
guy's
ball
a
4
force.
times.
They what?
They ran the ball 4 times. It's a new NFL record for the least amount of rushes in a game.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Fournette had 1, and I think Jones had 3. I think that was it.
yeah,
Fournette caught the ball like 4 or 5 times, but only ran it once. So it just doesn't make sense. He's a bruising tailback. Like run him up the middle. I mean, I know they're getting crushed off the bat, but still 4 rushes is a little extreme.
yeah.
And then the Monday nighter, like honestly, not a terrible game, like back and forth wise, and like a good comeback, but just like not good football by any means.
No, definitely not.
I don't know. I feel like
I don't know.
The primetime games have been kind of not exciting for the last few
It's kind of
weeks.
flipped. It's kind of flipped for me, I feel like. Like, Thursday nighters were so boring, and then Monday nighters were usually good, but I feel like there's been some blowouts on Mondays or, like, some just not good games, and we've had some pretty good Thursday matchups this year.
Yeah, yeah. The Thursday games have been not awful for sure.
Well, they were so bad.
Yeah, they were.
Like, the last 2 seasons, I feel like it would be like, oh, God, this is the Thursday game every week.
I feel like teams are also showing up a bit more. I mean, I feel like there's still some games that we see where it's like, oh, this is pretty lame, but then it actually turns out to be like a pretty decent game. They're not ending like 9-12.
Yeah. At the same time, I'm not going to complain about any football right now because it's literally the only sport on.
Yeah.
Other than the Masters.
Except the Masters. We got the Masters
Let's
this
go.
week.
Yeah. Let's go, Corey Connors. Kids
Boys
taking
are,
it.
boys
Canadian
are
kid.
stoked on the Masters this year. So
Sandy Lyle coming in.
that's where we're at right now with our. Well, I guess that's where Week 9's at. Riley, what do we got for news and our injury report?
Well, we have some big news coming from the NFL on Tuesday. The owners unanimously voted to approve moving to a 16-team playoff if any meaningful games down the stretch are canceled. So I think this is a great move. Expand the playoffs if we can't have a full season. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And it's just something nice that the league has in its back pocket if something does like break out extreme.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a 16-game playoff.
Harry, what do you think about it?
I'm still on the fence, honestly. I'm not sure. I mean, a 16-team playoff does sound great, but I just don't know how serious the NFL has really taken COVID. So what happens if a team in the 16-team playoff gets COVID and they have to cancel a game? I don't know.
Yeah, well, they probably just push it.
Yeah.
They can't cancel it.
I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. I mean,
Some numbers from... Sorry, go ahead.
in a perfect world, it would work out. I'll leave it.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
They've still had some talks about going to 2 bubbles as well for playoffs. I haven't heard anything recently about that, but I've never heard it be completely shut down. I think it's a great idea, personally. Yeah. You can't have that many fans anyway. Who cares? Some numbers from the first week of November, though. 56 positive tests in the NFL, with 15 of them being players, the rest being staff and all that. So, 15 players isn't too bad. And they are really being cautious now. Like, the first couple weeks, it was like, oh, okay, like 12 guys have it. But now as soon as one person has it, any close contact has to isolate for 5 days and test negative for 5 days before they can return. I think they've changed their policies for the better. I mean, it's not perfect, but nothing is right now. So as money hungry and not caring about their players as the NFL is, I think they've made some decent strides throughout the season when it comes to COVID.
Yeah, nothing's going to be perfect. You can't do that, but you just got to adapt and do as best as you can because, I mean, nothing's going to be perfect right now.
Yeah. Vance McDonald, speaking of COVID, tested positive. Big Ben and 3 others are in isolation as of Monday, I believe, maybe Tuesday. They have to have 5 days of negative testing and isolation, and then if they're still negative by Sunday, they can play. So Big Ben, like, legitimately is a game time decision, depending. But the coach said that they're pretty sure he doesn't have it. It's the rules.
Yep.
So we'll see if Big Ben suits up on Sunday for a big divisional game against the Bengals, or if Rudolph gets the start.
Yeah, I mean, Rudolph's not a bad tight end. Or Mason. Jeez. Oh, my goodness.
I was like, he's not the worst tight end. But
yeah, he's also on the Vikings. I was like, when did this happen?
No, Mason.
Yeah,
Rudolph.
Been a
Mason Rudolph,
long,
the QB,
been a
the QB.
long day.
Anyway,
Been a long
we're
day.
gonna slide past
to the
that
next one.
Baker and Marlon Humphrey activated from the COVID lists, so they will be able to play this weekend. Baker never had COVID. He's another one of those close contacts things. So he'll play this week. I don't know, like not huge news. Just thought I should throw it in there that he will play. David Montgomery in concussion protocol for the Bears. An already brutal run game may suffer another hit.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears are just going to continue to slide.
Their offense is so bad. Like, how big of pretenders was that 4-0 team or whatever they were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're bad. They're terrible. Defense is good.
They just
But,
they need some more help.
Yeah, their run game's brutal. Nick Foles has looked terrible. Mitch Trubisky has a shoulder injury. It's not. They were 3-0 and then they switched to Foles and now they're 5-4.
Yeah.
So
Foles is also saying apparently that he knows plays aren't going to work that Nagy's calling.
Yeah.
So it's not looking good in Chicago.
someone in our group chat today, was it you that shared that Lamar Jackson said that defenses are literally calling out what play they're running at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah.
Like, maybe expand the playbook or have different looks. Like, if players can look at your setup and know what play you're running, bad offensive coordinating.
I wouldn't say Baltimore has a very...
diverse?
Yeah, very diverse or advanced offense either.
Yeah, it's run-pass option.
Yeah. That's usually a run.
Yeah. Because he knows that as soon as his receivers get past 20 yards, he's not completing the pass.
Yeah.
The Falcons waived their boy Tack, 2017 first-round pick. Talk some shit about the Falcons.
He just actually got picked up by the Bengals 10 minutes ago.
Oh, interesting.
Really?
Breaking news.
Congrats to him for going to one of the worst teams in football from one of the worst teams in football. Good work, man.
Well, I mean, they weren't playing him.
Well, because he's not very good. He hasn't panned out to be what he was supposed to be. In 3 seasons, he has 19 sacks.
Yep. Well, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
and he's a little whiny boy.
Falcons' defense isn't nothing to scoff at
Well,
either.
like, what are you going to do, start him over Fowler?
Yeah.
No, not gonna. He hasn't proved himself, so maybe he gets a fresh start in the Bengals, but the way he went about it was super childish. Christian McCaffrey, speaking of him, hurt again with a shoulder injury. There were some reports last night that people close to the team are saying he will not play this week, but he's getting a second opinion on the shoulder, so might be without McCaffrey again after just 1 week back.
Wow. I thought it was his ribs when I was watching the game. I thought he hurt his ribs, but...
The old shoulder.
Yep.
That's tough.
It's tough indeed for a running back, too.
Well, I mean, he's coming out. He missed, 6 weeks? So...
Yeah, since week 2.
His body just probably needs some readjusting. Hopefully it's only one game.
Yeah. Yeah, fair. Nick Chubb has returned to practice, coming off the IR. Kareem Hunt didn't really take the reins and run with it.
No.
Well, Chubb was hurt. He was actually like a pretty not great every down back.
Yeah, he was. The Browns went on a bit of a slide, too. They haven't been playing super great football.
I think just the 1-2 is what helped them. I mean, if they can both stay fresh, it benefits both of them.
Yeah, agreed.
Kyle Allen out 4 months with an ankle injury.
Dislocated.
He had surgery.
Yeah,
it looked a lot like Dak's ankle. Our boy Alex Smith will start, threw his first touchdown pass in forever, but also threw 3 interceptions in their game against the Giants, which they lost. But I'm chill with Alex Smith just rocking it, you know?
Yeah, Washington is a tough place to go play if you like having your legs intact.
Yeah. Their D-line's really good. That's pretty much it on Washington.
Yeah.
That Gibson kid, though, he looks like he could be a stud. He is already kind of being a stud, but like he looks like he could be elite if their team was better.
Yeah, I agree.
And then my question of the week, I've been kind of trying to throw these in, boys. Who is the best team in the NFC? I would have said Tampa last week.
Yeah.
I can't say it anymore. I would have said Seattle last week. Their defense is really bad. It's a glaring hole. I don't know if I can say that they're the best. Just based on their win last week and with Thomas coming back, I might have to say New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, there's no great team in the NFC. They all have something wrong with them.
Yeah, they do all have issues.
I'd agree with you, though. If New Orleans can keep up how they've been playing, I'd give it to New Orleans. Because Seattle, obviously, their offense, like we've said earlier.
Probably the best offense, them and Arizona are the best two offenses in the NFC for sure.
Both those teams, the defenses is just questionable. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I think I would say as of this week, and of course this is always changing, but yeah, I'd probably say the Saints.
All right, so unanimous Saints going into Week 10. I like it. Green Bay could be in there too, but
Green
they
Bay's
seem
close.
to blow it. Like, that's the thing though. I think the NFC is going to be so much fun because let's think about it, Arizona, Seattle, New Orleans, Tampa, Green Bay. The Rams have looked good off and on this year. Like, I feel like anyone could represent the NFC that makes the playoffs. Like, just get in.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but it'll be fun. That's pretty much all I have for news and injuries. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
Cool, let's move on to some Week 10 games then.
All right.
Arizona-Buffalo, without a doubt, I think could be the game of the week.
I think it could be as well. Arizona needs to actually show up to this game, though.
Yeah, true. Like, Buffalo could win by 20. It depends.
I don't see it. I don't see it. I think it's gonna be.
Yeah, well,
I think it's gonna be a good battle.
It'll be a fun one between two good offenses. Josh Allen looked really good last week against Seattle. See if he can continue that for a couple weeks. He's had some weeks where it's meh from him.
Yeah.
And then some weeks where he looks like an MVP like last week.
Yeah. And he is young. He's getting there.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy. Like, it feels like he's a vet, but what is it?
Yeah.
Season 3 for him?
Yeah. And, like, out of that quarterback draft, he's probably the best quarterback out of that draft. Like, I want to say Lamar is there, too. Like, probably just below him. But, like, if I was a team owner, I could have any of them.
If we're talking about it last year, we're saying Lamar's definitely better.
Yeah, hands down. But Josh Allen just keeps getting better, and he's just got a rocket arm that is accurate.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm ready to crown him over Lamar, but it's a close 1A, 1B kind of thing for me, personally.
Yeah. Well, I just mean, if you're starting a franchise, who would you take?
Yeah.
From that rookie class of QBs in the first round.
Yeah, it'd be close for sure.
I don't know, Baker
and the Rams
looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyone on Cleveland doesn't look good eventually. Seattle and the Rams could be another good one here, as it's a big divisional game. Seattle looking to get back on track. The Rams looking to stay in the first place race in that division. So this could be another sick one.
Yeah, and the Rams and Seattle are usually pretty good games, but Rams usually have Todd Gurley that just carries them. So new look Rams would be interesting to see.
Yeah. San Fran, New Orleans. Wonder what San Fran team will show up.
No, this won't be a good one.
The injured one.
San Fran's done, man.
Yeah,
They're done. Season's over. They're a shit team now. I'm just gonna say it.
They get another good draft pick next year, though, and
exactly.
they're right back to being a good team again because they just once they get healthy.
Yeah. I need to see it a couple weeks in a row from New Orleans to really believe, but they should win. Cincy Pittsburgh, statistically, on paper, not a great game, but this is one of the best rivalries in football. Stemming back to Burfict versus
AB. Yeah.
I mean, these two teams hate each other.
Yeah, they do.
Joe versus Big Ben. Well, hopefully Big Ben, depending on if he passed all his tests. It's tough for me not to put this on the games of interest list just because we've had so many fireworks in games before.
Yeah.
I agree. The intensity is always there.
Yeah, I would like to see the Bengals show up and actually make it a close one.
Yeah. I mean, Pittsburgh barely beat Dallas last week, so I'm sure they'll probably try and have a big bounce back game, but we'll see. And then finally, Indy versus Tennessee. Indy's played pretty good this year. I wasn't expecting what I have seen from them, especially when Mac went down, but clearly he's not the be all end all on that offense. Indy's 5-3, Tennessee's 6-2. They're in the same division. So with a win, Indy ties Tennessee for the tops in the division. So this is a huge one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see Indy as a super, super good team. Their defense is kind of suspect, and
their defense has only given up 160 points this year, less than Pittsburgh.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Indy, in all honesty.
I just feel like they're the forgotten decent team.
It's just Rivers, man. I don't think he's it.
Yeah, well, he finds ways to blow it.
Yeah.
But it could be a good game either way. It should be a good game either way.
It'll be a good game. They have a great O-line.
Yeah, and we'll see. Their defense has been shutting teams down. Tennessee has a pretty good D. It'll be Henry versus the Indy defense, and we'll see who wins that battle.
And we got Philly and Giants as another one to keep an eye on, just because that division's so trash.
The old
that anything could happen.
Snooze Bowl.
Yeah.
I saw something Daniel Jones is 4-0 against the Redskins now after winning. Oh, sorry, the football team after last week, and then 1-15 against every other team or something.
Wow. The guy's a turnover machine. He will not have a starting job for long.
Yeah, I like him, to be honest with you. I don't feel like he's got a whole lot around him, and his O-line has never really improved.
Yeah,
but
turnover machine.
I don't hate him.
He's got the ball security of a lemon.
Fair. But other than that, do we got any other ones? Who do your Raiders play this week, Harry?
Well, Ralph, thank you for asking that question. The Raiders.
Oh, the Broncos.
They play Denver.
I was like, let me get to my picks, Ralph. Saving it for that.
Okay. I'm sorry. That Denver likes to keep games close.
Yeah.
Could be another divisional game. Raiders should win it if they have hopes of staying in that wild card spot.
They look good. They've been looking good. They're gonna win.
To my surprise, Josh Jacobs is third in rushing.
Yeah. Yeah, really quiet year from him, but still super effective.
Yeah, I have him on my fantasy team, and I wouldn't have guessed that. But anyway, we off the picks?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We didn't make any. We had a bye week last week, boys.
Yeah.
We took the bye. Didn't make any picks, just regrouped, so we're not looking over last week's picks because we don't have any. Harry is...
What about the week before? We never went over those. That was my upset card, where I'm pretty sure I went 3-1.
You did. You went 3-1. Harry went 1-3, and I went 2-2.
To take the lead, I told you guys. Huge upset card to move into first place.
That was the worst week too. Like, you picked the only week where there was so many upsets. Like, Vikings beat Green Bay. I can't even think of all of them because it's 2 weeks ago already. My brain doesn't think that far back. But yeah, you went 3-1, and me and Harry didn't do so well. So you are now in first place. Harry's 14-16-2 in last. I'm 15-16-1 in second, and then Eli is 16-15-1.
2 games up on Harry.
Yeah.
1.5.
It must feel good being in the lead for once, hey Eli?
Well, told you. I'm coming for you. Upset
We'll
card.
see after this week. We'll see. I don't have two ties. I don't have 2 ties on the board for no reason.
It's true.
I guess you have to start us off, Harry, because you're in the basement.
Enjoy it while it lasts, boys. Enjoy it while it lasts. Okay, pick 1. I've got Tennessee -2 versus Indy. Like we talked about earlier, it's going to be a great game. I just think Tennessee is just the superior team. Next, I've got Vegas -5 versus the Broncos. Raiders are going to come in and just dummy the Broncos by at least 10. You heard it here first.
Oof.
Game 3, Seattle +2 versus the Rams. I'm still not sold on the Rams. They have up and down games, and that offense on Seattle is just too good. And finally, we've got Miami -2.5 versus the Chargers. They looked really good last week against Arizona, and I just don't think the Chargers are going to be ready for this Miami team that's fired up having Tua. So, one more time real quick. Tennessee -2 versus Indy. The Raiders -5 versus Denver. Seattle +2 versus the Rams. And Miami -2.5 versus the Chargers.
Nice, Harry. Like it. I'm not sold on that Tennessee Indy pick, but we'll see. All right, I'll go second, I guess. I'm 15-16-1 and in second place. I'm going to take Cleveland -3 versus Houston. I think if Chubb comes back, they should run all over Houston on their way to... I mean, the -3 kind of hurts because I think they might win by 3, and I really don't want another tie, but we'll see. I'm going to take Buffalo +2 versus Arizona. I just think Buffalo's the superior team. I know Arizona's at home, so they get that -3 at least, just for home field advantage usually. But I think Buffalo's going to beat Arizona. I'm going to take Seattle +2 versus the Rams as well, as I think they'll have a huge bounce back game. Don't really see them losing 2 in a row. And I'm going to take Baltimore -7 versus New England. I just think the Patriots are total garbage. And Baltimore should win by a couple scores. Eli.
All right. Well, I think one of my favorite games of the week is going to be the Seattle-LA game. So I'm going to jump on that. I'm going to go Seattle +2. They're just going to have a good bounce-back game. Russ is going to look probably unstoppable, go back to MVP form. So I'll take Seattle +2. I'm also jumping on you with the Buffalo +2 versus Arizona, Riley. I like that. Yeah. I think Buffalo's going to continue to roll over these NFC teams. I am going to go New Orleans -9 versus San Fran. San Fran's not even a quarter of a football team, so this one won't be close. And we'll look for Tom Brady and the Bucs to bounce back at -5 versus Carolina.
Nice.
Yep. So quick recap, Seattle +2 versus Rams, Buffalo +2 versus Arizona, New Orleans -9 versus San Fran, and Tampa Bay -5 versus Carolina.
There you go. Eli in first, Riley in second, Harry battling his way to the basement, which he seems very convinced that he will do. All 3 of us have Seattle +2 versus the Rams, so if you're listening to this, hammer the Rams, because we are historically terrible when all 3 of us pick the same team and game. So yeah, that's that for the picks. Quick fantasy update. We didn't lose anyone from Survivor last week. We still have 16 out of 85 left. 11 people took the Patriots over the Jets last week. That could have really decimated our Survivor pool if the Jets would have hung on to win that, but nonetheless, they all made the right pick, and we're now past where we ended last year. Week 9, we crowned a winner in the Survivor pool last week. We're still at 16 people. Now, we're almost triple the amount of entrants that we had last year, so that makes sense, but good work, everyone. It's just going to get harder.
Yep.
As for fantasy, we suffered our first loss in 6 weeks, boys. We're 5-4, still in a nice little playoff spot. I didn't start a defense because I didn't want to drop anyone because it's a 16-team league, and there was no, like, Atlanta was the best defense to pick up, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't drop anyone to pick up Atlanta's defense to stream, so I bit the bullet. We still only lost by 3, so in hindsight, like, maybe should have. But I think we're set up nicely. I think we're a top 4 team in the league in points for, so I think we're set up nicely going the rest of the way. So I'll eat that one, boys, but I wouldn't expect many more losses down the stretch here.
Good. Got to rate the ship, Rawls.
Yeah, I'm not giving away
unacceptable.
jerseys for free here.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, I don't got a whole lot, boys. It's going to be a good week of football.
Nice.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, as always, thanks for listening to the podcast. Check us out on the social medias at Squib Kick Radio. And with that, we will talk to you next week.
Peace.
I got you stuck off the realness. Think not, this shit's too hot. Too hot. Too hot. Rock you in your face. Dab your brain with your nose bone. I'm a vampire walking on the surface of the sun.